The hosts of bracketology are experts in nothing. They claim no advanced knowledge or profound insights. Instead, they are just three judgmental idiots who really like to bloviate their own opinions whenever given the chance. Take what they have to say with a grain of salt, or not at all. You'll probably be better off that way.
So, fellas, we've done a debate similar to this, but I'd like to take our non-scientific, non-expert approach on a question. What do you think there are more of in the world? Eyes or legs?
Eyes?
Eyes. I'm going to have to say eyes.
Why?
Because there are plenty of things that have multiple eyes. Like spiders have a tremendous number of eyes. And while they do have 8 legs, that's not tremendous. That's
But what about all the ants?
octolegonal.
Ants have 2 eyes, but 6 legs, and they outnumber humans by the billions.
Yeah, but so do fish, and fish have 0 legs.
And 2, are there more than, there's no fish or anything with more than 2 eyes, right?
I mean, there might be. We don't fucking know. That shit's scary.
Sure.
Yeah, but what about octopi?
No legs, bro.
Tentacles aren't legs.
Okay.
And I'll go down fighting with you on that one.
Yeah, I'll die on that hill. Tentacles aren't legs.
I'm willing to go die upon.
I don't know, though. The bug debate, I mean, like, the bug debate is pretty significant because that's a lot of legs times a lot of bugs.
Now, are we talking specifically just legs and eyes that are attached to things?
Are you thinking about like legs on chairs now? Are you including those?
Well, I wasn't until you said that. But what I was really thinking is those creepy kids that like pull the legs off of bugs. Because in that,
I mean, there's still legs. No, it does not. That's hardly a dent. that doesn't factor in at all.
It could, but if we're
also,
thinking,
how many of those types of kids do you think exist?
At least 13.
Yeah,
I mean,
Scott was
factually accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Still don't think that's going to make a dent in it. The number of legs.
And then, do you think of like eye holes? You know, holes in things that look like eyes.
I don't know. I'm being swayed toward legs
because
look, the ant argument alone is significant, but then when you start to think about like millipedes too, or pill bugs,
centipedes,
or I mean,
I'm sorry.
Again,
what?
not only you were talking about a ton of legs and then a ton of bugs.
Hold on. Did you say pill bugs?
Roly polies, whatever you want to call them.
Well, call them by the right name, Scott. Roly polies.
Okay. Granddaddy long legs. Like that's a lot of legs and a significant population and very, very few, if any, eyes.
How many eyes does a spider have?
How many eyes does a granddaddy long legs have?
Most spiders have 8 eyes, but some have 6 or fewer, and some species have as many as 12.
All right, and
the number of eyes a spider has is always an even number. Google's weird. Also, I'm getting spiders staring at me now, and I don't like it.
All right, but spiders also have 8 legs, so...
Well, here's an argument.
6 legs.
No, it's 8.
Okay.
Arachnids have 8. Other types of spider-like creatures have 6. Now, here's an argument for the eyes, okay? And I think this is going to win it. Eyes are the windows to the souls. So the number of eyes that you have increases the number of souls that you have.
It doesn't increase the number of souls. We don't have 2 souls. It increases the number of windows to be able to see one's soul with.
How do you know you don't have 2 souls?
I mean...
Look, I would put it up for debate that he has a soul, much less 2.
I mean... Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bracketology, the podcast that definitively define. Dang it, I said defines.
So
You
close.
Definitively,
So
I
close.
overthought it. You know what
Streak is
happened is I
over.
wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking about how last time Dan pointed it out, and then that threw me off. This is the podcast that definitively decides all things tournament bracket style. This week, we continue through the bracket of worst sports mascots. We are into round 2. What was the
shitty
16th?
16.
The shitty 16? Was that really what we decided?
I don't think
No, I
so.
think we decided sucky 16.
That sounds
Also
better.
not great, but
I mean, anyway, that's what we have left is 16. Name to be determined. Yeah. Oh, I'm your co-host, Scott Grubb.
I'm your second co-host, Matt Robinson.
And I'm the third co-host, Dan Default.
We are professional podcasters. All right. So where do we want to start?
Well, I think we get the important one out of the way and we just knock the NFL flat on its ass.
So start with the NFL. All right.
So our first matchup that we have is the number 8 seed, the Raider Rusher, versus the number 4 seed, Rowdy from the Cowboys. Do you think that they could have come up with a better name than Rowdy for the like? Are Cowboys historically rowdy?
I mean,
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think yeah. I mean, think about them doing like yeah, I think so. Riding horses out on the Wild West. I think they got a little rowdy. I mean, think about Western.
With their pistols in the air.
Yeah, yeeing, unhawing, and yeehawing, you know?
All right. Well, I mean, you
That's
convinced
pretty
me
rowdy to me.
somehow. So what do y'all think? Because all I can think about when I think of Raider Rusher is a giant head and zero torso.
It was the giant chin, too, right? He was the one I said looked like Max Headroom pedophile.
Yeah.
I don't think I said exactly that, but it
I
was
don't
something
think
to
you
that
called him a
effect.
pedophile, but
I'm trying to not look them up. I'm trying to just remember and see how bad the negative impact I had. It was had on me the last time I saw them.
yeah. I mean, all right, let's talk about a few things to consider when it comes to these mascots.
Okay.
One, the Raiders and the Cowboys, both pretty low on most people's fandom chart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pretty high on the hated chart as well. That's all I got. I don't like the Raiders.
Okay. just general observation. Nothing really
Yeah.
specific with the mascots. Just people
Yeah.
tend to hate these teams with a fever.
Yeah, I will say,
Okay.
as much as I don't want to say it, I do think the Raider Rusher has better colors than Rowdy. The black and silver is a little bit better than the blue.
So if both Rowdy and the Raider Rusher were to approach you and say, Matt, let's work this out. Let's try and be friends. Which one are you most likely to listen to?
Not the Raider.
Okay, so
Not
that would
the Raider.
probably make him the worst mascot then, right? Or is your hatred of the Raiders just that much stronger?
Yeah, I think it's the logo and that's the hatred for the Raiders, to be honest.
But does it change your thought at all to know that was the first mascot brought to life from a cartoon show on Nickelodeon?
No, because that scars children. In fact, that makes it worse.
Yeah, that means they needed Nickelodeon to make a mascot for them. They couldn't do it themselves.
Al Davis had zero wherewithal to be able to make his own mascot other than his son.
I mean, he could make one, but it would probably be wildly inappropriate because Al Davis.
Yeah. Just win, baby. Yeah, I got to vote for the Raider Rusher.
As the worst.
If these two boxes were in front of me, I would kick the Raider Rusher first.
We're not on cereal anymore.
Oh, okay.
But real quick, what's the SOG factor?
Negative. I'm drier than the Sahara right now, Dan.
There's nothing soggy about thinking about the Raider Rusher.
All right, so we got Matt's vote. Scootimus, what's your vote?
Scoptimus Prime.
I do like the black and silver look.
Hmm.
And do we know where the name Rusher came from for the Raider Rusher?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's because of rushing the quarterback, but I did not look it up.
Okay. I recall really disliking Rowdy. I think his cartoonish face matched with the again oversized head was really off-putting to me. I'm going to say go ahead.
I was going to say I understand that, but I have no.
But you just
argument
really,
today. I just
you
I
just really, you
don't
just
like
really
the
want the Raider
Raiders.
Rusher to lose. I think
Technically win
Rowdy
in
and
this case.
I think Rowdy and his childlike face was uncomfortable for me, and I'm gonna say that makes him the worst of the two mascots.
All right,
Childlike
so
face, this cherub style bullshit.
that means it's a tie coming to me. And I have to say, the Raider Rusher is weird, especially the iteration where it is just a face on legs. Like, that's a little creepy.
Oh shit, I forgot about the face on legs.
Too late, you already voted.
Balls.
You can change it. You got time.
Yeah, no, I totally forgot about that.
Damn it.
See, here's the thing. I'm being forthcoming with my hatred of the Raiders. Dan's coding his hatred of the Cowboys
No.
with bullshit.
I'm not coding it with anything. I just didn't get a chance to bring that
Yeah,
up.
you made too good of a point, and I think you might have changed my mind. That
Damn
creepy
it.
head with like arms coming out its ears and then just legs sticking out of its chin is a thing of nightmares.
Imagine that thing coming at you.
No, I think the Raider Rusher is the worst of the two mascots.
Hmm.
Sorry, Doofa. You just talked yourself out of a win there.
I'm so mad because then it would have been all right. Well, okay.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely is going to be. It would have been, but then no, it's not.
Well, it might not be. My vote would have been for Rowdy. I still think that dumb looking mascot looks like he comes out of a bad Primus video. His stupid face, that stupid color scheme.
Maybe the problem is we don't know what Primus video you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's
Plus, it feels like you're stealing my shtick from last week when I just called everything stupid.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of these are stupid.
yep.
So-
That's
so up
why we're
next.
debating them.
Speaking of stupid, up next we have Major Tuddy from the
Mm.
Commanders and TD from the Dolphins.
It does not stand for the Dolphin.
Although it should.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, I mean, let's be real. I've got a weird hand thing, and I don't like his hands. So
You didn't
that
like
is-
either one of their hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hold on.
Keep him. Okay.
It was more prominent in Tuddy. However, the Dolphin also has the head going against it. And
Major Tuddy's looks like a bad Power Rangers villain.
I hear what you're saying there, but honestly, that speaks to my
In
heart.
a meaningless Monster of the Week episode.
You're not wrong. But TD would die in real life.
What?
Especially outside the water.
Yeah. He's a marine animal.
Major Tuddy had floppy, saggy penises for arms.
He did have giant penises for arms. That's a good point.
And his helmet looks like a dickhead.
Did Tuddy have an awkwardly small helmet? Or did it
No.
actually fit his head?
It
It
fits
kind
his
of like
head, but it's
it's
his
like,
ears are coming out underneath the helmet.
and it's like a bowl cap, like one of the old World War II,
Like
metal,
a
like,
commander hat.
yes,
Like a major hat.
sure, I don't know, but it like rests right on his eyelid and goes around, and it looks like a giant dickhead on him.
But here's the
It's
thing
like
about
an old
TD.
Kevlar helmet.
It's like a
TD
dickhead.
has just a really small football helmet on his
Hmm.
elongated
He
head.
does. That's true.
This one's look. We got hand versus hand. We've got helmet versus helmet. We've got penis arms versus being a marine animal.
And the weird open mouth of
Yeah,
TD.
and you can't look at him straight on. The eyes are to the
No.
side.
There's no good angle to look at that stupid mascot.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Which one's worse, Dan?
Well, I mean, look, at this point, we're talking about very ugly mascots. They've gotten this far because of how terrible they are. Major Tuddy is terrible. That's coming from a fan of the team. But his weird, elongated mouth, the weird little helmet, his hands
At the end of his
that are
fins.
fins. Yeah.
His opposable fins.
Yeah. I cannot, in good conscience, let Major Tuddy advance over such a monstrosity. TD gets my vote.
All right. All right, Scott,
Yeah,
of
that's
these two, because they could both very well be Power Rangers villains.
I mean, yeah, I could. I'm not gonna lie. I could see TD in one of the more poorly thought out Power Rangers episodes. I could see TD
And I
stomping
think
on a
that's
cardboard town. Sure,
Yeah, that's kind of where my head is going. If Major Tuddy,
but Major Tuddy looks like he already was one.
sure,
Like he's been there.
been there, done that, got the T-shirt.
Yeah.
I got my ass kicked by Tommy. But if TD came down and Rita turned him into a giant monster versus Tuddy, kind of same thing happening, which one would I look at and think, oh, that's stupid? I don't know. What do you think? Which one would you be?
I really did not
least
foresee
excited
this
about?
conversation leading down a path of if Rita Repulsa turned this mascot into a giant monster, which one would I be more terrified of? That is not a qualification I really expected to be part of this debate.
I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You always have to be aware of that.
There's always a 17% chance Power Rangers are going to come up. I mean, I think in that scenario, that oddly specific and totally unrelated scenario, that Major Tuddy would be the more terrifying of the two. Because in my head,
terrifying. Yeah.
TD one. I mean, if we're talking in terms of mascot, this is not technically a marine animal. It walks around just fine all the time. We're not talking about the reality of a dolphin. We're talking about a mascot. We're acknowledging in this meta that it is a mascot.
I mean, okay, you didn't answer.
So serving the terms and purposes of a mascot, like, again, it's to generate excitement for the team. It's going to be something that, kids want to take pictures with, or will go to social events and whatever. And which one of these is worse at being a mascot? Or
all right, I have a new argument.
Okay.
Of these two, the kids, want to take photos, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't want any photos of my kids with these two things in my house anywhere.
Agreed.
They're both hideous.
Which of these two mascots is more likely? You know what? Never mind this entire argument. Tell me your vote. I I don't want to say what I was thinking.
I think between these, the worst of the two mascots. I mean, TD is literally a dolphin. It's the name of the freaking team. But at the same time, it just looks so damn stupid. So I might have to say TD's the worst of the two as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
I definitely
I'm shocked.
think I'm leaning TD as well.
Yeah, it just looks so dumb.
it's
Like,
just-
it's just poorly executed. Like, it's time for them to take that mascot and whatever you want to Nintendoize it or something, and like just make it look like a mascot dolphin. I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, TD moves on, and in the next round, they will face the Raider Rusher for the NFL. Worst mascot in the NFL. Where are we going next?
Maybe to the east side of the bracket. You want to do baseball?
Okay.
Shoot.
Why
So
are
in
you
in our last round, or our last sets we were just in there, I made it a point to not look up the mascots because I wanted to see how well I remembered them. But now I'm remembering for the MLB, they all just look like fucking Monstars from Space Jam. They're all just weird ass aliens. I don't know how am I supposed to differentiate which one's which.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I mean, at this point, we could go off of color scheme, utter ridiculousness.
Okay. All right. So
we've got Slider versus Raymond.
Okay.
And Blooper versus Orbit.
Okay.
I still can't believe the Philly Fanatic lost. Or
the Philly
won.
Fanatic has Riz, bro.
Yeah, I hate to say it because it really is terrifying. So let's start with the top. Slider from the Guardians versus Raymond from the Rays. I think right off the bat, I have to ding Raymond for an unimaginative name.
I mean, why? What else would you name him?
Curveball? I mean, all of the other ones have different names.
You think Curveball is more creative?
It's Slider. Slider's a good name for a mascot. Especially in baseball. Throw a slider.
But
it's a type of ball that you pitch. Also, people slide.
But your suggestion was curveball.
Well, he could be a curveball. In mid-game, he could just take his head off. That's a curveball.
He's a Ray.
He's not a Ray.
No, he's a dog.
He's a fucking weird dog, right. And his name's
Raymond.
Sea
dog.
Not everybody loves Raymond, all right? In fact, some people dislike Raymond.
I was never a big fan of Raymond. Yeah, I forgot the Sea Dog thing.
Sliders. What was Slider supposed to be?
Slider just makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Slider looks like Jim Henson threw up on a Big Bird costume and then just donated it to wherever the fuck he's from. Cleveland?
Cleveland.
I mean, he was created in 1990, inspired by the Philly Fanatic.
Derivative, sure.
He was best known for an injury during the 1995 American League Championship Series when he fell 6 feet off an outfield wall and tore knee ligaments.
Oh my God.
He was inducted into the Mascot Hall of Fame in 2008. What?
You can see the dude's wrist under the costume in this picture.
I think we
or dudette. You can see the person, the human.
Dude is gender neutral in this phrase.
If I learned anything from Nickelodeon and Good Burger, it is that I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude. We're all dudes.
We're all dudes. Yep.
The thing that gets
I still haven't seen that sequel yet, and I'm very upset about it.
We're getting off.
I just butted in there.
the thing
What
that
gets
gets
you?
me about the thing that gets me about Slider are the yellow polka dots on him. Like if it was just purple with the really bushy yellow eyebrows and the big bushy yellow nose, I could okay. But it's the purple spots all over him that makes him look like not only is he a big monster, but he's a big monster that has some sort of disease that is causing yellow boils to appear.
Leopards everywhere are pissed at you right now. Just
How
having
many?
spots makes you a leper. Leopard.
I never said leper.
I know, but I'm trying to come up with some diseased thing, and leper is kind of easy. But leopards, the big cat, and cheetahs,
Hmm.
they're angry
Hmm.
at you because they also have spots, and they want you to know
I think we're getting off
about
track here.
disease. Oh,
I mean, I was on track.
you have spots.
I do.
I think Slider's stupid.
Slider has the better name. I think he is the worst mascot out of the two.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
All right. I am going to dissent here a little bit, and I'm going to say Raymond can suck at. But
What do you have against Raymond?
I don't like him.
Oh, okay. Well, can't argue with that.
Yeah. Logic is sound, man. All right, so then we get to Blooper versus Orbit. Now, I want to go back to an argument from the last episode that these two were in. Orbit. I think Orbit's cute as shit.
Yeah, but
I
that's.
think you.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
I think y'all are unnecessarily mean to Orbit. I think I also voted for him to move forward, but it's irrelevant now. Blooper's worse. It's a stupid name.
But
Did you know that Blooper's ears are extendable and he uses that for gags?
He uses that to gag?
For
for
gags.
like
Yeah, for laughs.
Got it.
Yeah. Is Orbit being so? Is he perhaps too cute? Is the problem, right? Like, I get you want a level of cuteness there again for the whole kid and family aspect of it, but is Orbit too cute? Orbit to me looks like they should be on the side of some kind of like cereal box trying to promote to kids and give them more diabetes or something, you know? Like, Orbit just doesn't, it's too cute for mascot service, I think.
Hmm.
I never thought I would hear that in an argument.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just, it swings the pendulum too far, I think.
I hear what you're saying, and I denounce your statement.
It's cute to the point of a punchable face, you know what I mean? Like, it's a little too far.
What's another thing that's cute enough to be punched?
Dan?
I mean, I'm a little offended, but that's also sweet, so thank you.
It's a bittersweet pill to swallow.
Threw you off guard, though, didn't it?
A little bit.
Threw me off guard, to be honest with you.
You're just sad I didn't say you.
No, actually, I'm all right. So I don't know. Blooper looks like his name. He looks like a fucking blooper. Like, it looks fake. It looks. It's stupid.
There we go again.
I'm going back to my
solid
old
arguments. Solid,
So
indisputable arguments.
does it change your opinions one way or another to know that of these two mascots that we're talking about, Orbit is actually older? Orbit's first appearance was in 1990 at an elementary school, whereas Blooper didn't come around until 2018. So Orbit is older.
Did you know that Blooper got its name actually as a reference to all the years that the Atlanta Braves used an Native American person as their mascot? Like that was a blooper on their part.
I did not know
Oh,
that.
That's because I
sorry.
just made it
Just
up.
an
But
80-year blooper. Okay. I'm like,
Mm,
no,
Look,
it's because I just made it up.
I'm a fan of Orbit. I stan Orbit. Some may say that's not
Wow.
true. I don't do that. I do.
You
Really
write
like
Orbit fan fiction on the weekends. It is raunchy.
Orbit and Major Tuddy have met a few times.
gross.
Blech.
All right, I don't know. Give me your votes.
So you think Blooper? I think Orbit's worse.
I see, and I think bloopers.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right. So Scoot, you're voting for Orbit. Matt,
Mhm.
you're voting for Blooper. Damn it.
Puts it all on you, Dan. Listen to the little devils on your shoulders. Put your finger in the light socket.
What?
What?
All right. So this is a tough matchup, but I have to kind of agree with Scott that his face is almost too cute. I think Blooper is more funny looking, and when you're sending the mascot out to rile up a crowd, like Rocky for the Nuggets does a really great job of this, like getting people laughing and doing funny things. Orbit's face is going to get that reaction more than, or no, Blooper's face is going to get that reaction more than Orbit. So I'm going to be voting for Orbit as the worst of the two mascots.
It was very difficult to follow a lot of that logic, but I hear you. I see you.
You are known.
I acknowledge
Thank
you. So that means Slider from the Guardians and Orbit from the Astros have moved on in the MLB division to face off in what will henceforth be known as the enormously stupid 8.
You really put a lot of pressure on yourself there when you started that
Yeah.
sentence and no ending in sight.
Yeah,
I got there, though.
that was-
I got to an ending.
You got to something.
Right. Envious 8?
They're
envious
envious
of
of
the
all the
others.
good mascots.
Yeah. There we go. Look at that. I got there. It just took... Look, still warming up.
All right, so
It's
what do we
8:30
have
p.m.
next, Matt? What's next?
Well, I mean, technically, that would be the end of our episode, but we got through there pretty quick. So I think we might as well knock out the other two divisions. What do y'all think?
Nah,
Sure.
we should save it for. We should save it for the next episode.
I mean, we could also
keep
just
on the
make this
schedule.
a fairly decent sized episode and just keep it at about 30 minutes.
All right, well then I'm going to ask what's next, Matt, again, and we'll cut that to talking about the next two brackets then.
Yeah, I'm not cutting any of that out, but you can go ahead and do that.
Why would you leave that in?
Why not? A little peek behind the curtain. All right, go
They
ahead.
don't need to see how all the magic's made. All right, so what's next, Matt?
Magic.
So next week, we will move on to talking about our last two divisions in the Sucky 16, the NBA and the NHL. So in the NBA, we've got Lucky the Leprechaun going up against Slamson, the Lion, and Grizz going up against Boomer. And then in the NHL, Dan?
In the NHL, we have Spartacat from the Senators going up against Hunter from the Oilers, and Stinger from the Blue Jackets taking on Chance from the Golden Knights.
So we've got a good full episode to go.
We look forward to seeing you back here next week for that. As always, we want to thank Aaron O'Donnell from Aaron O'Donnell Music on YouTube for letting us use the track that we hear at the beginning and end of every episode. We also want to encourage you to find us on all the social medias. We are on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. that all of them? I think
I don't
that's
know.
all of them.
Twitch.
Either way, you can find us at, oh yeah, we're on Twitch. You can find us at Bracketology, BRACKETALLOGY. More than anything, though, we want to thank everyone who has been listening. Thank you for putting us on in the background as you comb your front lawn. We always appreciate that we can keep you company during that time.
Gotta get them tangles out, bruh.
Yeah, exactly. Again, we'll see you next week as we continue through our worst mascot bracket. I am Scott.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Dan.
Bye-bye, y'all. Add a little
Ooh,
flair
added a
there.
y'all.
Yeah, added a y'all.